Alright, here we are at Daytona here for the first of 3 races tonight, and on the front row we have Triffin Davis and Matt Sanders. Oh, scratch that, Corey Heffley and Matt Sanders.
Yeah, Corey Heffley with the 45.964 and Matt Sanders in the number 9 car, the 45.967. Very close times there for the front row here at the first race of 3 here at Daytona for the FTRtv Gatorade Duel Showdown. My name is Bobby Campbell. Going to be commentating here with Alex Bates as the cars start to roll off the line. Going to be a fun race to watch, I suspect, for a lot of these drivers. It's going to be a big question mark how it's going to play out. We were expecting a little bit bigger show, but it appears we're going to have about 22 cars, I believe. And the reason that comes into play, ladies and gentlemen, is because it's basically elimination. I'm not sure how many cars are going to be allowed. If you can answer that for me, Bates, in the last race.
I'm not 100% sure on the field here, so right. Last I heard was that 3 drivers are going home before the 3rd race. So,
all right, so we will figure out a way how to make this an elimination type going into the last race. But as for now, it's all going to come down to racing for these first 25 laps of this first segment. And haven't watched a lot of practice with these guys, but a little bit that I have seen. It's been quite interesting how the pack was running. So we're not going to see a 2-car tango fest. It doesn't appear to be. It's going to be a more packed race here as they make their ways through turns 3 and 4. Coming to the line here to take the green flag for the first segment of 3 here at Daytona, Corey Heffley. Matt Sanders going to lead him to the line. Behind them, Yanni Condon and Leighton Sabell. All right, your top 4. Green flags in the hands of the starter, and we are racing at Daytona.
Good start by the whole field right there. Nobody getting bunched up right now. Gonna race it off side by side in the turn 1.
They will do that just fine so far, as Bates just mentioned. Right there, Corey Heffley already right above the 58, moves up to the top line with the number 9 now. 32, number 9 on the high side, the 48 in the 58 going down the super straight. They are together as they head into turns 3 and 4.
The thing about the package here is that you can push for a bit to make up ground, but it's going to get hot really quick.
And they will be micromanaging through this entire segment. Not a long one, but like Bates has just said, it doesn't take long for this car to get hot, and if you don't take care of it too quickly, it can blow. And right there, lap 1 already complete, and they are really getting antsy as they came through the travel there. A very close chop by what appears to be the 48, and he was right on the quarter panel of the 32 of Corey Heffley. Got to be close. Down the backstretch now, the 48 and the 58 on the bottom. I wouldn't say that's too hesitant of a pace here for these drivers, but they are trying to lead a lap, it appears, because the 48 all over the back of the 58 now kind of staggers off as the 32 and 9 are going to have an advantage coming off 4 here as they are pretty well packed. Looking at this field so far, it's calm and easy as we've completed lap 2, starting lap 3 now. So people just riding, it seems. And that's a very smart move. If anybody's ever raced this package, you just want to take it easy these first couple laps. There's honestly no reason to get yourself in a rush. Corey Heffley and Matt Sanders appear to be doing some type of swap. If that works out, it appears to. I don't think that has something to do with pulling. They weren't running too close together, but you never know. They might just want to switch. Lap 3 in the books here at Daytona in the first segment. of the duels. Your leader is, as of right now, to be the, well, he blinks out there. It's going to be the 58 and the 48 of Kenneth. Those two lead your way down the back of the straightaway here at Daytona. Very, very calm so far, and that's what we like to see. Going to get to the end if we want to see a race. Right now, just riding around.
You'll see a lot of drivers just sticking their nose out whenever they're in the line, just trying to make the thing cool. You just keep it cool. You can get runs and pass people whenever you push. On the outside, you have Corey Heffley and Matt Sanders working their way up there.
Yeah, just look how far back they dropped, and just look how effective this. I wouldn't say it's going to be too effective in for a long period, but the Tango is effective right now, and look at them pull. They were just about 7th or 8th, and now they've moved right up alongside the 58 and the 48, and in turns 3 and 4, they're going for the lead. But I'm fairly certain the 32 is starting to get hot as he's spinning to the outside. Sanders is going to lead this lap, and they're going to cut down right in front of the 58 of Danny. Corey now.
And caution's out. Looking for what has happened.
James Torrey slow going in the pits, and he's got a ton of damage to that 11 Miller's Light car. Going to be in 3 and 4 where the caution took place. Appears to be about 2 cars involved, and it's going to be the 5 and the 11.
Looking back to what happened now on the back stretch, looking at the 5, has the 11 to his outside. As we go off into turn 3,
It's the apron.
Yeah, he just bounced off the apron and lost it right up into the 11. Really unfortunate. They catch the 60, and he's going to get a ton of damage too. Really unfortunate turn of events right there for the back of the pack.
That's going to bring out our first Service Master Clean caution here at Daytona for segment 1 of the FTRTV's Gatorade Duels. And 2 cars, or 3, appear to be claimed in this mess. Early on, not a big crash though, so like really no harm, no foul to the integrity of this front pack, obviously, but those cars in the back, when that caution came out, they were quite far behind. Triffin Davis and Eric and Robert, and it seems like you wouldn't even have a problem that far back, but that apron seemed to have caught some drivers, and unfortunately it's going to claim their cars for this segment.
Yeah, well, while they pace this out, we're going to step away for a quick break. We'll be back with the restart. Green
flag
flag.
in the hands of the starter, and we're racing back at Daytona already. Look at this. Corey Heffley all over the back of the 9 and the 48. 3-car lineup on the inside as they head towards turn number 1, 3 wide behind him. Just for a second, as the 44 was making it a little tight there with the 99. Through turns 1 and 2, already trying to get up to speed. The 44, who has a little bit of damage. Not sure where that was accumulated at, but looks to be the left front is damaged for whatever reason. The 99 behind him, pushing him. We'll see if he has any problems with that. Up front, it's a 5-car line here, and then it's staggered back to the 44 for now as they come across the line to complete lap number 10 here at Daytona.
Single file all the way through the pack now, this time much different than what we just saw with the whole field being side by side on the restart.
Off turn number 2 down the backstretch. The 32 of Corey Heffley, the 9 of Matt Sanders, and the 48 of Kenneth lined up, and then a little about half a car back with the 58 and the 2. Right now, still riding as they come off turn number 4. Still early on in this race. We are closing in towards the end, but it's just the first segment, and just trying to get to the end.
A lot of drivers probably taking it easy at this point with a few guys knocked out in that last track. This might have it set up to where everybody can make the final race.
44 way up high off track, almost into the wall. The 94 has to make an invasive maneuver to miss him. Not sure why that occurred. 44 regains control. He's starting to fall back. He'll try to jump in line in front of the 24 of Trippin Davis. That stacks up the field. The 13 has to get out of the gas. The 25 goes to the middle lane to dodge him. Just to show you how big of a speed difference it is when you jump out of line and you try to jump back in line with someone that's getting pushed. At times it could be a 10 miles per hour difference, so you've got to be careful. The closing rate is quite fast.
Still single file all the way through.
Yeah, nothing changing as they head down the super stretch. The 9 of Sanders, as I say that, the 48 machine might have an attacker here is the 9 of Sanders, and I suspect the 32 of Heffley will go with him if he has the chance. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't appear that Corey is... Yeah, there he goes. To the high side as they complete lap number 13. Matt Sanders and Corey Heffley nose to tail, and he's going to have the 58 and company to push him to the lead as they head in turn 1.
And they clear him. Just like that. That's teamwork right here in this Gen 6 car.
Oh, the 48 almost off the apron into the 58. And while all this is going on, like you just said, they've cleared them and they are gone. What I believe to be half a lap before that car starts to get hot, and that is the Corey Heffley machine at 32. Corey Heffley pitting in this lap. As said in chat, here comes a couple other drivers. It's going to be interesting. Can they get it woed down? Oh, it's going to be close for some of these drivers.
Short race here for this first duel, and the race host Brendan McGee has opted to have only 13 gallons of fuel, so it forces one pit stop, and that's what everybody's doing right now.
The pit stop's underway for this first time. We'll see a couple other drivers drop in the next couple laps. Eventually, the whole field will, as Bates just explained, not enough fuel to make it to the end, no matter what you do. Corey Heffley, splash and go. He's out of the pits already. He'll be the first off pit road, followed by the 13. Mike A. Taylor, Jeff Ramsdell, and Kenneth in the 48. They're gone. Brock Drury will follow in the 99.
We have a caution.
Caution out in the speedway. Leighton Sabell sideways, and he's got a lot of damage to the rear end housing of that car, as it appears to be, that's going to be game over for him. He has definitely broken something in the suspension in the back. A lot of damage to the 25 car as he comes across the line here to complete lap number 15. Game over for him. I don't think they'll be able to get that repaired. Oh, and it was a huge crash going into 3. more cars than what I expected. Leighton Sabell was the least hurt car, as we've got Brennan McGee and Matt Sanders, who Corey Heffley was just pushing. Let me go back and take a look at this.
Down the backstretch now. Oh, we got the 44 almost loops down the backstretch. He gets it gathered back up, but then something happens up front with Brennan McGee, and he gets hooked in the wall and launches right into Matt Sanders, and they come back up the track and collect a handful more cars. That was a nasty one.
Very much indeed. That was a real bad situation for a lot of those drivers. Had no control over where or when those cars were going to come back onto the track. Looking to see if the 22 is going to be at fault here. It appears he's pushing. I don't know. That tough call there.
The remaining drivers that hadn't pit yet that are now going down pit road and make their stop. As we pace it out here at Daytona, we're just going to step away for a quick break.
Welcome back to the Gatorade Duels, brought to you by FTRtv. About to come back from caution flag pacing. Your new leaders now, the 23 of Timothy Kelly Jr. and Eric Rodeman in the 96. Looking for Corey Heffley, who, as it cycled back through, has got shuffled back to 4th. His drafting partner, Matt Sanders, was involved in the latest crash we had that claimed just about 5 or 6 cars. Still waiting to see who's going to be able to get back out there with the damage being repaired. Off turn number 4, though, the pace car is about to jump on the pit lane. We're about to be up to 200 miles per hour racing once again. We're about to start lap number 20. We get to the line, it'll be 5 laps to go. In segment number 1, the 23. We're going to lead them to the flag, green flag in the hand. The starter, green flag in the air. We're racing at Daytona once again. 23 and the 96, very close already as they head towards turn number 1. The 7, probably going to get on the back of the 23 and try to get something going here. Corey Heffley in the 32, though. He's being pushed by the 2. They're about to hook up with the 96. And we're going to see what happens down the super stretch here at Daytona off turn number 2.
Yeah, Heffley not even hesitating to push that 96 to Eric Rodeman, but looks like they're going to go to the outside now. Ramsdale pushing Heffley.
Oh, got to be careful. The 23 being pinched. Oh, it's very close. This is going to be bad if the 96 is not going to be... Oh, contact. There they go. I seen that coming. Cars in it. 1 car around. 2 car. We got a car upside down. Guys trying to miss it. It looks like the 96 involved. Obviously, the 44 heavy damage once again. Coming back to the line, your leader is going to be none other than Corey Heffley, as Layden Sabel getting back onto the track with major rear end problems as he is in turn 1. Wow. Well, it was going to get bloody, and it did, and that was fierce. A very ignorant move by the 96.
Yeah, 23's there, and they make it all the way into the corner, and he has all the room in the world to give, and none of it ends up on his lid.
Yeah, much people say, well, the 23 into him, but I don't know if anybody's ever raced at Daytona in this sim. It's kind of hard to stay right there on that yellow line and not touch it, because once you do, your car is going to get very unsettled, and I think that's exactly what happened to the 23. Got under the apron a little bit, and even if it's just centimeters, it happened. The car made a response, and since the 96 wasn't given any room, any consequence was going to be very severe. And man, does some of these cars get very, very lucky. And one I'm seeing is Mike A. Taylor in the number 13 vehicle. He comes very close to being clipped, and if that was the case, it was going to be very, very bad for him, and I suspect it would have been a much bigger crash if that had occurred. 24 of Triffin Davis sneaking through there as hard crashes all around.
It's no green white checkers here for these first 2 events, so we're probably going to start this back up with just a couple laps to go, and no telling what could happen after what we just saw.
Most certainly there. Just looking back at the 96, I'm really not sure what his logic was to even holding the 23 down. I could completely understand if this is coming to the checkered flag and it means everything. If your friend is leading and you're wanting to hold that bottom line and it's approaching quite fast, but this is just a very ignorant move, especially even with the only 5 laps to go. You can't win in the next lap, so there's really no point to taking you out. And honestly, 3 or 4 other good cars. Let's think about racing. It's so what's the word I'm looking for here? It's there's always something. There's no driver's the same is what I'm trying to think of. Everybody's different, and that's why we have these problems. If everybody drove the same, we wouldn't have crashes. But that's the great thing about racing, is everybody's different, and that's what makes these races so exciting. Unfortunately, it's what makes these races so wreck-filled, because people have different opinions and different driving styles. And in that case, pinching with 5 laps to go that severely was the right thing to do with the 96, and unfortunately it's going to take out 3 or 4 good cars. Nothing you can do now. Corey Heffley leads. The 2 is going to be second to Jeff Ramsdell. Okay, going to be probably going to have at least, at the most, I see a 2-lap shootout. If we do get to go back to green flag racing, I'm going to say right now it's going to be hard to beat Corey Heffley, partner or without a partner, with Matt Sanders being out. I don't see any reason that Corey can't hold off 6 or 5 drivers for the next 1 or 2 laps.
Yeah, definitely a hard one to beat here at Daytona. Lights still on the pace car, so
I suppose if we do get a restart, it'll definitely be a 1-lap shootout. But looking at the board now, I don't know if we'll get back to green flag racing.
There are lap cars in the event, so that instantly tacks on at least one more lap of pacing.
Yep. Nevertheless, this is the first segment of 3 total. Will Corey Heffley win this one? We'll have to wait and see how the officials are going to play this out. Nevertheless, it's going to be a win for Corey Heffley if he can just finish in the top 2, because this race has been pretty wild, and it seems the only place you are safe in that top 2 with your partner. Going to be the decider here whether we get a restart if the lights go out this time by. And they do. So we will get a restart.
A 1-lap dash.
A 1-lap shootout. So Corey Heffley does not have it in the books yet. Very close to, though. All he has to do really is just get a good start, and hopefully whoever's pushing him stays with him so they don't give that top line an advantage. Checking in on some of the damaged drivers. Layden Zabel, he is a resilient driver. He is staying out even with that significant damage to the rear end of that car. He's going to finish it out strong. Brendan McGee, who was involved in the incident a couple laps ago, out back onto the track. A little damage. Still going, though. A couple more cars with damage right into the fill. David Anderson in the 7. He has significant rear end damage to that car, actually missing a good portion of it. So we're going to have a lot of variables here, depending on who has damage and who doesn't. This all plays into Corey Heffley's strategy, though. Really, we won't be up to speed when we get back to the line. We're going to be very close, and that means the restart is going to decide who wins this race.
I wouldn't go as far to say that, but it's definitely going to be a major factor.
Well, yeah, I mean, if Corey can get out to a good lead with someone, it's, signed, sealed, delivered. I don't think it's going to be fisticuffs for the first segment. There's really no point. But nothing to lose. Why not go for it? So here we go to decide segment number 1 winner. Here in the Gatorade Duels at Daytona, green flag about to come back out. Corey Heffley leads them to the flag. Green flag, 1 lap to go here at Daytona. And not a great start for the 13 and the 2, as the 48 and the 2 are hooked. This could be what I was just talking about. This is what it all matters. Do they beat him to turn 1? And this is really bad for Corey Heffley. He has no one pushing him. Absolutely no one. Here comes the top line. The 48 of Kenneth and Jeff Ramsdell. They're going to get around Corey off turn number 2, down the backstretch for the final time here at Daytona. 13, nowhere to be found. Where is he at? Now to the back bumper of Corey Heffley as they get into turn 3. It's going to be all
way
too
too
late.
late.
The 48 doesn't pull. Through turns 3 and 4, the 48 and the 2, nose to tail. Here come the 32 and the 13. It's going to be all too late if they don't make a move. Corey Heffley's not going to get there. The 2 of Jeff Ramsdell is going to win segment number 1. The cone is spared as Corey Heffley flies past it. And it seems that everybody made it to the line clean. Because it was getting pretty antsy there. Kind of disappointing there for Corey Heffley in the 13, but an amazing start on that final restart, and that's what got Ramsdell the win, is the fact that the 13, excuse me, the 48 and the 2 could stay hooked up. But Corey did a pretty good job there by himself for as long as he could. Your winner, though, is going to be Jeff Ramsdell in the 2. Segment number 1 in the Gatorade Duels.
He's going to do some burnouts here, celebrate his victory, and that's going to complete segment number 1 here. We'll be back after about 10-15 minute intermission to get set up for round 2.
Welcome to segment number 2 here at FTRtv for the FTRtv Gatorade Duel Showdown. Our winner for the first event was Jeff Ramsdell. Matt Sanders will start first, followed by Triffin Davis. Looking for Jeff Ramsdell for this race. Not present, so I believe he's going to set this one out because he's automatically entered in to, well, we're waiting to see if he does get on track. Not sure if he, yeah, okay. We're still waiting for him to get on the grid. He actually doesn't have to participate in this race since he is eligible to make it to the third race. If there is a situation where we don't have all drivers present. Jeff Ramsdell is on track, though. He will schedule, or he will race for this race. Waiting for the cars to roll off the grid. And we are rolling off the grid here for the second segment. Here at Daytona, Triffin Davis going to be right up alongside of Matt Sanders for the next 25 laps. We will have to wait and see if the second segment follows suit with the first, and that being a lot of collisions, which is normal for Daytona, obviously, but we were pretty clean for the first 6 laps, and after that, it just got pretty crazy. Thankfully, we were able to finish under a green flag condition. Will we see that again? We won't know. 24 laps from now, we will crown a winner. And who that will be, you could never put a guess on. Daytona and Talladega tracks alike, the Super Speedway Series, is definitely hard to pin who actually has the best chance to win, because at these tracks, it comes down to pure right moment, the right time, putting yourself in the best position. And I think last race, Corey Heffley did that. It wasn't in his hands to win, because unlike a lot of tracks, you have to depend on someone pushing you. Not necessarily all the way around the track, but just being there with you. And with Corey, he was by himself. And Ramsdell and Kenneth were not. They had it all hooked up and they were going. Will that play into effect again? We'll have to wait and see. Corey Heffley starts third, right alongside the 58. Sorry, he starts fourth. The third is place car is 58 of Danny Congdon. Leighton Sabell in the 48, starting up front as well. Green flag about to come back out. For segment number 2, green flag is out, and we're racing once again at Daytona. Matt Sanders with already a demanding start here. And he's pulled up to the high side, right in front of Triffin Davis, who Corey Heffley is now pushing, and they jump to the bottom as they enter turns 1 and 2. I believe we'll see single file again, Bates. I believe that's the smartest thing to do for at least the first 10 laps. I don't think we'll go that far without them making some moves, but I think that's what they need to do. And if they're smart, they'll do just that. Now, use smart very loosely. Obviously, like we were talking last race, a lot of people have a different driving style. Maybe they just want to race 2 by 2 the whole race and get their mindset ready. Yeah, and the cone is destroyed. Oh my God. In the arms of the angel. Back up front, Matt Sanders leads. The 24 of Triffin Davis is behind him. Corey Heffley, the 58, and the 48 down the super stretch here at Daytona, heading towards turns number 3 and 4. And look at the 20. Just like I was talking, different driving styles. Now it's the 20 and the 94, and if I'm not mistaken, those two were together last race in a crash. though I might be mistaken. No, that is Leighton Sabell, so that is a different car. So these two have not had a history. Yeah, if you look, he's trying to get air right there. Yeah, he's backing off. I have a feeling there are some blinking lights in that car. The 96 and the 25 below him, they're getting together, trying to get something going. I believe it's the Low Line Rebellion, though. As of right now, that's the only place these cars are running with the top 6 positions. A couple of drivers hanging out in the back. We haven't seen that in the last couple of races. It's just been a legitimate loss of draft. It appears that Nick Teraba and company back there are just taking it easy. Hayden and the 18. And Leighton, who was working with Brandon McGee, has since moved on to bigger endeavors. He's just jumped on the low line. Going to ride it out for the first 4 laps here already. Coming around turn number 4, coming to take the lap completion of 4 to start number 5. So far, so good. If you remember the last race, it took 6 laps for us to have a problem. It appears we're just on the same route. I don't think we'll have a problem because the last race, it was such a freak incident with the 2 cars in the back getting together. The 24 of Trippin Davis jumping out of line. Corey Heffley's going to take second right behind Matt Sanders, who we were talking about in the pre-race, being a strong duo when it comes to pushing here at Daytona. And they are once again reunited as they head into turns 3 and 4. Yep, just like that. Corey Heffley and Matt Sanders pulling away. A good 2-3 car lengths away from the 58 and the 48. Shortly lived, obviously. Whoa, a couple cars in the back there getting a little bit angled as they head into turns 3 and 4, for lack of a better word. The 24 and the 60 were momentarily 3 wide with the 2, I believe. And that caused a disturbance. But speaking of a disturbance, I believe we're going to have one because the swap is in up front. And watch the closing rate of the 58 and the 48 as they get to the 32 here. And a big checkup. Now the 96 will get there, the 95, 99, and then that's going to bunch up the field right back again. Lap number 6 complete here at Daytona. 25 laps total we will run tonight. It is a Ford front row. And then you've got Chevys for days behind them. Looking back here in the middle of the field, it looks like we might have a possible high line forming. It's a bit stagnant. Trippin Davis, and I believe that was the 60. We're trying to form something. It hasn't all went to naught. They are continuing to try to get that line going. And I believe before too long we might see the number 3 and a couple other cars go up there. And actually, quite the opposite. And just like that, Trippin Davis is a lone soldier and 3 in the back, but that's about it. No one wanting to get even anywhere near that high line. But then again, it's not because there's a disadvantage when you go up there, as you see the 25 just now volunteer. It's basically there's no reason to right now. Right. Watching the 25 as he is making his way to the front by himself, using what real-life drivers call the side draft. When you get really near these guys, you can take the air off the car, slow the guy down, give you a little bit of an advantage. Not truly effective in the sim, but It appears to be working somewhat as the 25. Oh, that's dirty. The 25 made his way up to the third position. 58 said, "Hey, you're looking good. Let's get something going." 25 takes advantage of that. He moves into third, and he sealed the deal for that. But now the 58 and the 48 are together. Yeah, it's almost as if they just swapped positions, the 48 and the 25. Says, "Hey, I'll go with the 58. You take the low line." Corey Heffley jumps to the high line now. Look at this, a 3-car line on the top side. Oh, Matt Sanders and Corey Heffley, contact almost made. It's all fun and games here, though, obviously. But they are driving hard as the 58 and the 32 now together. And he's going to get to the lead. Corey Heffley, new leader, and I don't think that was really in Corey's plan, is to stay up there with the 58. As what we really just seen was one of the most efficient swaps you'll see here at Daytona. And all for naught, though, because here comes Matt Sanders. He's going to go with the 58 to the high side. Yeah, they are. My goodness, the 25 and the 9 almost get together, and it almost takes the 32 of Corey Heffley off turn number 2. Now Corey Heffley jumps up to the high side. 4 cars on the high side, 4 cars on the bottom. Oh, and he saves it. And no, we're not. Here we go, boys. He's going to stack them up. Heffley saves it. Cars in the wall. Sanders and Heffley get again. They are crashing, spinning, and Heffley's going to hit the inside wall. 4, 5, 6 cars behind him continuously spin. And that's it for Corey Heffley as he pins it into the pit wall. My goodness, that was hard to understand. Oh, yeah. I had a feeling that it was all innocent fun with Sanders and Corey. It got very serious very quickly.
Duel.
Got a lot of people saying that's extremely pixelated stream. And laggy.
Hold on. Oh, they're under caution right now, but to try to get back to the brackets. My computer's not cooperating a whole lot. Yeah. We're having some problems.
We're back at the broadcast for the FRTV Gatorade Duel Showdown. Your leader is going to be the 48 and the 24 on the outside. After our first big crash that involved a good amount of cars here at Daytona, coming out of turn number 4, Corey Heffley, Matt Sanders, and a slew of other in company had it all wrong. We'll see if it has affected anybody else. Green flag in the air, 10 laps to go here at Daytona. We're once again racing. Into turn 1, everything calm and collected so far.
Once again, the majority of the field is going to just duck out single file.
Got a car on the apron. It's the 96. And he's coming back up onto the track. Oh, that was close.
I don't know what his intent. I'm sure his intentions were to let everybody by, but that was not the way to do it.
And just like that, we've broken up into 2 packs. Brendan McGee and Jeff Ramsel leading the second pack. Up front, though, the number 3 car finally making an appearance to the front 5. I believe that is Nick Tarabuck in the 3. He is followed by the 23, and in front of him the 7. So, a 5-car breakaway up front. Short-lived possibly, because we have the 2 and Brendan McGee slowly approaching as we go around and take lap number 17 in the books. The 7 sideways in front of Nick Tarabuck, and he saves it. And just like that, here comes Brendan McGee and company with the 2 car. of Ramsley, your segment 1 winner. Oh,
No.
more contact made with Brennan McGee.
That was a bit aggressive right there, but they keep it going straight.
No harm, no foul, and we continue to race at full speed here as they come off turn number 2. Down the backstretch with the 58 goes below the Brennan McGee machine. And up front, it's the 48 show as he leads into turn number 3 and 4. Got to be careful though. Trippin Davis in a sandwich with the 7 and the 48. Race has been pretty calm and collected, other than with a few laps with Corey Heffley and Matt Sanders going at it. Eventually taking out a good portion of the field. Not that that was their plan. Right now it's just calm and collective. Next time by, we'll see 5 laps to go in the hands of the starter. Man, that 7 car is evil. Right in front of Nick Tarabuck. We're getting word from race control that 7 is he's gonna have to keep it in line.
Yeah, I've seen that from a few drivers here tonight throughout the course of these 2 duels. They're just, I don't know, it's something about it. It gets loose on some guys, and it's really unusual.
Yeah, very unusual for a race like this where everybody is in the same boat with the cars. So if you've seen one person having problems like that, you would see others follow suit. Not the case. 5 laps to go this time by. So if you're in the 48 shoes, Bates, do you have any worries about the 24's favorability with getting around you? Oh, 7 again. He's sideways. Nick Tarabuck tries to dodge. Cars hitting him. Caution's gonna be out as Hayden misses him quite narrowly there. And that's gonna be the second caution. I believe Nick Tarabuck misses that, but I'm not sure if Timothy Kelly Jr. in the 23 is gonna be just as lucky.
Looking back now, what happened now going into the tri-oval, and it just washes out on him, and he just loops it. He just goes right on around right there in front of the pack. Not something you see here at Daytona.
And Nick Tarabuck lucked out there. Not only did he get hit in the quarter panel, he got hit in the back as he slid up in front of the 23. Extensive damage, possibly, not extensive, but noticeable damage to the front end of that car for the 23 of Timothy Kelly Jr. and the 3 of Nick Tarabuck has noticeable rear end damage to that car as well.
Very unusual there.
Well, once again, we are in a position to probably see a 1-lap shootout if we get there. We do have cars lap down, so yeah, I believe we probably will get a 1-lap shootout. And if it's anything like we've seen last race, you're gonna have to have someone pushing you. But not really that's completely the most important thing. You're gonna have to have someone just close enough to you, and that's what really lost Corey Heffley the race last segment with the 13 not being anywhere near his bumper until it was very much too late.
We're going to step aside for a quick break here and bring back either the restart or the end of the race. We are back here at Daytona, and we have not been given the 1 degree. This thing will end under yellow here for the conclusion of Duel 2 tonight. Your winner will be the 48. Not the way that most people would like to see this finish, but you know, this is just sets the field for the final race, decides who's in it, and I'm gonna just wrap it up here. Alright, that'll wrap that up here for the second duel here, Daytona. Be back in about 15 minutes for the final one. The whole all the marbles going down to the final one.
Welcome to the FTRtv Gatorade Duel Showdown. Ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to this. It is the very last segment, and it's going to be all for naught if you don't bring it in the next 15 laps. This is what it's all about. It's been all day long we've been heading down to this, and this is what it comes down to. One race, 15 laps, 16 drivers. Are you ready? Well, they're about to pull off the grid now for the FTRtv Gatorade Duel Showdown.
This is the big prize here. This is the $10 to win, and at the end of the day, you get another $10 tacked on if you win overall points. So, a lot riding on this, and you got guys trying to win. That's a lot of guys are definitely out of the overall points, so they're just here to win. 16 drivers and 15 laps. It's gonna be one to watch.
With that being said, you've got basically the first 5 drivers are the big hot spots as far as the last couple races have been. You've got Corey Heffley, you've got Ramsdell, you've got the 25 Layton. He's made an appearance. 94 Brendan McGee. When he hasn't been in contact with another driver, he's been up there. The 48 and the 96. So all these drivers have been up front. They know what they've got to do. These next 15 laps, I don't believe we'll see what we've been seeing the last couple races. The last couple races we've seen, last 2 to be exact, obviously, we've seen a first maybe 10 or 11 lap, kind of just take it easy. Let's just sit and see what cards we have. I'm honestly thinking at this point we'll see a little bit of that, but it's going to be a lot quicker because we don't have 25 laps. We have 15, and with the 3 and white checkers that we have that can be utilized, I'm sure people are going to bring the Ray game. And we're about to find out. Corey Heffley on the pole. Will he get redemption for race number 1? Well, a lot of people are looking for that. 15 drivers, 15 laps. The Gatorade duels here on FTRtv about to be settled as they come down to take the green flag at Daytona. Corey Heffley, Jeff Ramsdell in the 2. Mono e mono. It all comes down to this. They're doing 70 now, 202 as they come back around. Green flag is in the air. We're racing at Daytona.
And not even hesitating to move up to that high side in front of Ramsdale is Corey Heffley, and maybe going to look for a little bit of a push here and see what they can do.
And just like that, like you said, Corey Heffley to the high side. Jeff Ramsdell follows.
Now you have Leighton Seville with a push from Brendan McGee down on the bottom. They've been working together off and on throughout all 3 of these events, and definitely a group to watch here.
Up on the high side, look at the 58. Oh, and the 2 and the 32 squeeze right in front of the 25 and the 94. That was close. Already a high line trying to get formed as they go through turns 3 and 4. The 24 of Triffin Davis was all but straight going into turns 3 and 4. He's got that under control now. The high line forming, though. The 48 is being pushed very hard. My goodness, coming across the line, he was almost opposite lock. Now the 58 and the 48 are going to hook up as the 60 backs off into turns 1 and 2. Whoa, there they go. 36 and the 24, they're around. Right, that didn't take long. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there more goes. There's the Austin Dillon paint scheme machine of Nick Tarabuck in the 3 car. He's spun that car around, and he's made significant contact with either the outside or inside barrier.
Taking a look back now at what's going on here. We're going to be focusing on the 96 Cat machine of Eric Rodman here. And he clips that apron, and that's all she wrote. Going to collect about 5-6 cars in this ordeal.
Yep, just like that. We were talking about that in the first race. I mean, I'm trying to see if he hits the apron going into the corner. I'm not sure if he hit the apron or he literally lost it going into the corner. That was it. Just lost it.
Like we've been seeing just random occasions now where the car will just step out, and just seems like throughout the events it's just progressively getting worse now. Here we are under the lights, and I don't know if that has a whole lot to do with it, but that's what we just saw.
And man, does Nick Tarabuck get as far as the luckiest driver and then the unluckiest driver. He makes it through the meat of the crash only to get wrecked by the guy that that was just a straggler and just trying to get out of everybody's way. So yeah, Nick Terabach very unlucky in the 3 car. Makes it through the crash like a champ, but unfortunately is taken out on the other side.
While we're in the caution here, we'll briefly pull up what the points are looking like here. You've got Keith Santiago and Jeff Ramsdell at the head of the field here, just separated by 5 points. And behind them, you have Triffin Davis and Danny Condon and Timothy Kelly Jr. all within 20. So, one of these top guys, something happens and some mishap, and it changes everything.
It's going to look like we're going to have about 5 cars involved total in this crash. How many will get back on the track is yet to be seen. But as they came across the line, 13 cars on the lead lap. Corey Heffley still leads, followed by Jeff Ramsdell, Aiden Sabel, Danny Condon, Brendan McGee, Kenneth Santegio, Aspanar, Zach R. Johnson, Steve in the 22, and Hayden in the 10, or in the 1, rounds out your top 10. Mike I. Taylor is 11th. 12th is Triffin Davis. Nick Terabach is 13th. 14th is Eric Rodeman. And to round out your total field in the 15th position, Timothy Kelly Jr., who has since retired from the race.
We'll take a quick break here while they get this cleaned up and be back with the restart. Here we are back at Daytona for the FTRtv Gatorade Duel Showdown. About to get ready to get back going here. Lap 6 of 15 here. Just had a pretty big wreck. Took out 5 of our 15, 16 contenders, but getting ready to go. Corey Heffley and Jeff Ramsdell are going to lead us down. Behind them, you'll have Leighton Sabille and Danny Condon.
Alrighty then, turns 3 and 4. Not been a very popular place for clean action throughout the day. It's going to be possibly the last moment that decides who wins this race as well, if it's not the very few feet before the finish line itself. Corey Heffley and Jeff Ramsdell are going to lead them to the flag here. Lap number 6 about to be they come across the line. Green flag is out, and we're racing once again at Daytona.
Once again, Heffley jumps straight to the top after clearing Ramsdale. And a little bit of jockeying back there. Danny Condon almost getting into the front of Brennan McGee there.
We'll see how far we can make it. We made it 3 laps when we first started this race. How many laps we can make it now, as we've got a pair of tandems on the high side. And look through the middle. The 58 comes through the middle, being squeezed by the 25. Very close down the backstretch. He tried to make it work, though the 25 wasn't really going to give him that much room.
Yeah, between the 25 and Ramsdale was not letting him in.
Off turn number 4, Corey Heffley leads once again. And look at the 25 all over the back of the 2. And now the high line starting to form. Will it be a significant enough draft to make it to the front, where Corey Heffley and Jeff Ramsdell have been strong all night long?
Yeah, Danny Condon trying to get something to work up there up top with the push from the leader of the overall points right now, Santiago, in the 48.
The high line now making progress, but the 48 and 58 have been hooked up quite some time, and I'm sure that they're getting hot. The 48, that is.
Same goes for Ramsdale and Heffley.
25 all alone on the bottom. Now Brendan McGee trying to give him some company, as the 48 and 58 slowly making more progress on the high side. They might have it going into 1. Here they come. Santiago on the high side. And the 48 as well follows.
He must be getting hot because he swerved and backed off right quick.
Danny in the 58 losing his drafting partner momentarily, as the 48 is getting way too hot, it appears. And with that being said, here comes the 25 and the 94, who just a second ago was nowhere in sight. While this is going on in the back, we're looking a little.
Oh, the 48 has nuked it. 48. And that's the leader of the overall points right now.
Caution.
Does not look like we'll get a caution for that.
And Santiago is going to be blown up on the front stretch. That car exploded. Back to the front, though. A lesson learned, just to show you how severe the consequences can be if you decide to push too long. And I think we'll see a lot more drivers being a tad careful now that that's become a harsh reality. 25 and the 52 on the high side, starting to get something going as we close in on 4 laps to go. Corey Heffley goes way high, and that's going to give him put right in the sucker hole, as here comes the 2. The 25 slides up, the 25 almost into the 32 of Corey Heffley. Now the 2 has the advantage down the backstretch.
Ramsdale taking the very safe approach there while being in the lead, just ducking down below the line and giving him all the room in the world to sort that out.
3 wide as the 58 gets into the Corey Heffley machine, and there goes the whole front pack. The leader is away, but that's it. Caution flag's going to be out. Green, white, checkered is in store, but there are a lot of hurt cars as across the line Jeff Ramsdell goes to complete lap number 11. And I cannot say we didn't see that coming. The 58 just don't know. I honestly can't understand.
Yeah, here we are, 3 wide, and the 58 looks like, I don't know if he bounced off the apron or if he just had a bit of that looseness that we've seen off and on all night, but he just washes up, and there goes the field.
Yeah, he washed up, got loose, retained it, got loose again, retained it, and then just no room. Starting to look like the Bud Shootout a week ago. We are losing cars at an alarming pace, and when we get back to green flag racing, I believe we're going to have maybe 2 clean cars.
And looking at this in slow motion, the 58 just gets all kinds of loose and almost has it gathered back up, but just inches up and gets right into the door of Heffley, and there's nowhere for anybody to go there in 3x3 situation.
Kind of unfortunate for Zach Johnson, who had just started to make his way up to the front, get into the battle, and as soon as he did, wrecked. Caution flag is out, and we will see our green-white checkered as a lot of drivers on pit road now trying to get their damage fixed. Like I said, I believe we'll have legitimately 2 cars with maybe 2 or 3 cars with enough or the least amount of damage to make a run at it, so we'll have to see.
While we get this taken care of, we'll take a quick break and come back with what could be the end of the race.
Welcome back to the FTRtv Gatorade Duel Showdown. About to have our first attempt at a green-white checkered finish. The number 2 of Jeff Ramsdell, segment 1 winner, leads the race to the line, followed by the 1 of Hayden. The 22 on the high side, the 60 of the 3, and the 94 green flag is out. And all of a sudden, Hayden has the bottom line. Look at the 2. He goes all the way to the top. But does Hayden have the car, or the person pushing him, does he have the car? That'd be Nick Terrebuck on the bottom.
Yeah, he's got the push from the 3 of Nick Terrebuck here, and they've known each other for a while, and they're more than likely going to work together here all the way to the end here on our green-white checkered attempt.
Coming to take the white flag this time by, Hayden does not have any help with the 3. The 22 and the 2 have pulled away, and I can guarantee you this, we will not see the 22, whether it be him coming to the line first or the 2. They will fight this out. A lot of people with these races, they find themselves just pushing the guy in front of them to the win. In this case, it's winner takes all.
Must be some significant damage to that 3-car Terrebuck as he latched on to Hayden and lost him right away. And we've taken
race here. White flag's out.
This is it.
Next flag ends the race. The 22 and the 2 fighting it out. Who's going to get there? Steve Bonestill in the 22 trying to get something going. He's going to push Jeff all the way to turn 3 and 4. And the thought running through his mind is, where and when? And it's now. Turn 4. Here comes Steve in the 22. Here comes the 2. He's pushing all the way up to the high side. Mano-y-mano off turn number 4. Side by side coming to the line. Oh, contact in the tri-oval coming to the line. Side by side. Steve in the 22 gets turned and he wins the race.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
The cone!
We have to have a moment here. We want a silence for Fallen Cone.
And we're back, and a huge crash takes place after the line. And it was a spin and win with the 22. As Jeff Ramsdell trying everything he can do to win the race, comes up a little too short. And Ricky Stenhouse in the 94 plows into him. Congratulations to Steve Bonestill, segment 3 winner, as he does his burnouts on the front stretch here. In turns 1 and 2.
Gonna go back and take a look at that finish because it was a close one.
Corey Heffley in the back having a moment.
Here we come off at turn 4 as Bonestill pinches right to the door of Ramsdell. Maybe slight contact, but that's what gives him essentially the run that gets him to the front, and he wins the race. Getting turned, but he wins the race. Nothing is official yet, but I think it's safe to assume that Ramsdell has won the overall points after leader of the points going in and blew up on about lap 6. We're going to try and get a word here with Bonestill, winner of the final segment here. Going to take home $10 tonight.
My mic.
Hey, Steve, it's Alex Bates in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Really close finish we just had there. Give me a little bit of a rundown of how your race went.
Well, my race was actually pretty dramatic for me. Before the race, I had a little bit of a server problem, so I didn't get to qualify. I started out back, and then we had a huge wreck in the beginning, and I'm sure you guys saw I weaved right through the middle of that, and then made it up, was pushing Brennan, and then he got himself 3 wide, and I snuck past that by slamming the brakes, and then there was like 4 of us. And I think the only 2 cars that were good to go was me and Jeff, and so we went, and then we went side by side, and then we went fender to fender, and then we went sideways, and I won.
Yeah, definitely a fun one to watch there, and yeah, an entertaining night you did have, and looks like you come home on top here in this final segment and get to leave home with the prize.
Oh yeah, the prize is nice, but either way, between me and Jeff, it was just to have fun. I don't care if he would have won or if I would have lost or whatever. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it from up here. Alright, well, we'll let you go here while we wait and figure out what the final points are going to look like.
Alrighty, guys.
That was Steve Bonesteel, winner of the final segment here in the FTR Duel Showdown. And now we wait, figure out what the final point standings will be so we can interview our winner. Now we're going to try and get a word with our now confirmed overall points winner and segment 1 winner, Jeff Ramsdale. Jeff Ramsdale with Alex Bates in the booth. You got a copy?
Copy.
Alright, it's just come in that you have won the overall points, so a little bit more of a prize tacked on than what you've already won from being our segment 1 winner. Just give me a rundown of your night overall.
Overall, the night was pretty fun and interesting. I certainly wasn't really expecting to win. I'm not really known for finishing super speedway races, so the first race was kind of a surprise to me, and kind of got lucky on the second one with avoiding that. Had to drive through the pits for that, and yeah, the last one, that was a great finish with Steve Bonesteel there. He got the win. I tried door slamming him and trying to break his momentum. That didn't really work. So I'm glad he won. One of us won. I'll take second and the overall points. That's kind of what I was going for mostly.
Yeah, well, mission complete there. You take away a segment win and the overall points. I'd say that's a pretty solid night.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I got to thank Corey Heffley for working with me there in the beginning of the final race and in the first one. He's a great partner to work with, and Steve for working with me on the green-white checker there on the final race, and good win to him. I have to thank my sponsors, Checkered Flag Interactive and Chromonic Graphics.
Alright, well, we're going to let you go now. This is Jeff Ramsdale, our overall winner here in the FTR Gatorade Duel Showdown.
Thanks, guys.
And with that, that's going to wrap up our coverage of the night. And Bobby has abandoned us here, but so I'll sign off. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.